What is happening, everybody? TC here with Smoky Mountain Knife Works, smkw.com, and we're here with Carleigh Fairchild. Carleigh, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate that.
Thank you, TC. It's good to be here.
Absolutely. So, you were on the TV show Alone.
Yes.
And we talked to Larry earlier. I've got a few of the same questions that I want to pose to you, but also some different ones. First off, walk us through a little bit about what this show is about and what the experience is overall.
Yeah, so Alone, there's 10 people that get selected over like a whole long course of interviews and selection process. And then once selected, I got to choose 10 items to take with me to the middle of nowhere, or I didn't even know where I was going, never been before, to live off the land as long as possible with no film crew. I had a huge case of camera gear, tons of batteries. I was in charge of figuring out every shot, making sure there was enough batteries and memory card space, and running out sometimes and being like, just didn't catch me getting that fish.
Right.
And I was one fish that,
Right.
So, whole process.
So, now, I got to ask this question. This one's a little bit different. So, what called to you? What possessed you to want to do this?
That's a great question, right? Like, it's a really extreme situation.
Oh, absolutely,
And what led me to that? And like the short story version is I started studying earth skills as a teenager, and I just loved the connection that I found through making shelters and building fires and learning what plants were edible and making baskets and tanning hides. And I just really connected with those skills and connected with myself, and I connected with the earth and the other people that I was working with. And I was always curious how those skills would apply in a real situation.
Right.
Like I went out for a weekend or a week with people or a couple of weeks, but I never felt like I hit my edge. Like how far can I take this?
Right.
And so Alone came along, and I was like, this is an authentic show. It'll give me the opportunity to test how far I can go with this built-in safety net that if something happens, like there's people that can come in and help.
Yeah. So, and that's the other thing too, is it's unusual to find a show like that is legitimate, that is genuine in the fact that there are no film crews there to help you with anything. There's no one there to say, oh, here you go, here's a cheeseburger if you're hungry. No, you're literally there on your own. You're catching the footage on your own. So what's that like, being there alone for that long, and how long were you there alone?
Yeah, so in Patagonia, I was there for 86 days. Right? A long time.
That's insane.
A long time.
86 days by yourself.
86 days by myself, eating what I could forage off the land and what I could fish.
That's amazing. That's inspiring. It really is. And so by the end of this process, what is your mindset like? What is going through your head at that point?
Yeah, so at the end, I was very connected with the land that I lived on. The shelter I built was my home. I felt like I was coming home each evening when I walked up this trail through the brush to my area. And it felt, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it felt more home than any place I've ever lived, because I was there wholly for so long. There was no like run into the grocery store or doing this trip or, all the things we do in our day-to-day lives that like take us away. It was all about coming home and into myself every moment, because that's what I was there for. I was there to find that connection. And so even though like I didn't have a lot of food for those 86 days, I caught 6 fish in 86 days. So I was eating like green soup every night for dinner, and teas, and staying well hydrated. But I was being fed through the connection with the land.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to stay there as long as I possibly could, and I really hoped to win.
Yeah.
But it ended up that the medical team decided I'd lost too much weight and it wasn't like physically safe for me to be there any longer, and they pulled me.
Well, I can only imagine the connection from that standpoint. It, you develop this connection because you're literally surviving off everything around you, and so at that point, it's got to feel almost like family. Like the importance of everything around you is so much higher than what we normally experience in day to day life.
That's exactly right. You know, the plants and the trees and the birds were my friends. They were my family. They were what I had to connect with there.
Yeah. So now you're allowed to pick 10 items from a list. One of those items that you picked being a knife, and it was an LT Wright knife.
It sure was. So I searched for a knife for a long time to take with me out there. I had always just bought like cheap, very serviceable knives, and I just really wanted a really sturdy, well-crafted, 100% dependable, no questions asked knife. And I came across the LT Wright Genesis at River's Edge Cutlery store in Ohio, which is where I grew up, and was back there visiting family in like this preparation phase. And I came across the LT Genesis, and just seeing it in the case, I knew that that was the knife I'd been looking for. And then holding it in my hand, I was like, yeah,
Yep.
this has the weight, it's got the full tang, it's got the sharpened spine, it's got the good grip, you know, like it's gonna treat me well out there, and I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, and that's one thing we spoke with Larry about. You know, it's one of those, and LT does an amazing job with the fit and finish, the handcrafting elements of the knife, but its durability and the fact that it is, I mean, you can absolutely count on it no matter what. I mean, that's big, especially when you're going into the wilderness alone.
For who knows how long.
For who knows how long. I mean, that finding that knife that you can definitely depend on means a lot.
Yeah, it did. And it is my go-to knife always. You know, LT reached out to me after the show and said, hey, like, amazing job. And we end up partnering to make a signature knife. So
Nice.
I now have the Carleigh Fairchild signature knife with my quote, never give up, to commemorate my time out there in Patagonia and those 86 days that I was there to live, and to live as long as I could.
That is so awesome. So, what are you up to now? What are you doing right now, and what's on the horizon?
Yeah, what I'm doing right now is I'm offering an online course called Connecting with Place, so that folks all across the country or world, if the time zones sync up, can take a course with me to find ways to connect with themselves in a deeper manner through awareness skills and through connecting with the wildlife and the plants and the trees and the earth around us, and through these earth skills that have meant so much to me over the years, using all of those as vehicles to ultimately connect more with the place of who I am and the place of who they are who are taking the class, and to be able to draw from that more peace, love, joy, and purpose in their life.
That is awesome. So, how can people find you, get in touch with you, say on social media, or find these classes?
Yeah, so my website, carleighfairchild.com, is a great place to reach out, contact me, find out about what's happening, sign up for my newsletter. And then I'm also on Instagram, just at Carleigh Fairchild. It's the best ways to find me.
And that's Carleigh, right?
That's correct.
There we go.
Carleigh.
There we go. That is awesome. Carleigh, thank you so much for this. And thank you for the insight. And that's what has been so wonderful, being able to hear yours and Larry's and Jordan's experiences, and being able to learn from people who have actually done this stuff. I mean, that's what we in the business love seeing, love hearing, and love getting that feedback, because it helps us be able to work around the products that we carry.
Right.
It's so much better actually hearing from the experience that people that have used them for real scenarios have to put in
Absolutely.
there. Yeah. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank
Folks,
you.
like I said, definitely look up Carleigh Fairchild. Uh, you will definitely benefit from that. And as always, it's been me, TC, here with Smoky Mountain Knife Works. And remember, if it cuts, like Carleigh's LT, right? Never give up. Then we carry it.